Hello everyone, I'm Masa.
Phew, I feel like I bought way too much salmon. Will it go bad soon?
Maybe I should just freeze it? Ever felt like this? Here is what I tried today. How to keep sashimi fresh for a longer time. What I'm sharing is based on what I learned from real aged sushi masters in Japan, and also from information shared by professional Japanese chefs. So please stick around till the end. First, let's talk a bit about how fish aging works. Fish have something called ATP inside their bodies. It's like their energy source while they're alive. And actually, this ATP is where the umami comes from. After the fish dies, that ATP starts to break down little by little because of enzymes. When almost all the ATP is gone, the fish becomes stiff. That's rigor mortis. Then, after that phase, the meat slowly softens again. And that's when ATP turns into IMP, which is the main source of umami. But here's the tricky part. If time keeps passing, IMP eventually turns into HX, which causes bad flavor and leads to spoilage. So if you imagine it as this graph, the umami goes up after the fish softens, peaks, and then goes down again as it starts to spoil. One sushi chef I met told me, a sushi master's job is to figure out exactly when the umami reaches its peak and serve it at that moment. Probably the salmon you buy at supermarket is somewhere around here. You've never seen stiff salmon at a store, right? There are mainly two big reasons fish go bad. First, the enzymes inside the fish. As I mentioned, enzymes break down ATP into IMP and then into HX. Second, bacteria. Once bacteria get in, they multiply fast and start breaking down protein, which creates that bad smell. And there's another factor, oxidation. That's when fat and pigments react with oxygen, causing the fishy smell and discoloration. So basically, to slow down spoilage and oxidation, we need to control these three things: enzyme activity, bacteria, and oxygen. Enzymes work faster when it's warm, so keep it cold to slow them down. Bacteria grows quickly when there's moisture, so remove excess moisture to stop their growth. And oxidation happens when fish touches air, so keep the air out as much as possible. Alright, with that in mind, I'll try two different ways. I'll cut the salmon into pieces about the same size so we can compare them. First, let's take a look at a method that's often said not to work well. I just take the salmon from the supermarket, gently pat off the excess moisture, and then just wrap the salmon in a paper towel. It's simple, but apparently not the best if we wanna keep it fresh for several days. And cover it with plastic wrap. And here, I'm purposely wrapping the whole plate with plastic wrap and put it in the fridge. That's one side ready. Now, let's look at a better method. First, sprinkle some salt on the salmon. This draws out extra moisture and helps slow down bacteria growth, which also firms up the meat, making it even tastier. Once the extra moisture draws out, rinse off the salt quickly using salt ice water. This is an important point. Then dry it gently with a paper towel. Next, wrap the salmon tightly in plastic wrap instead of a paper towel. This keeps air out and prevents oxidation, which is especially important for salmon's delicious fatty parts. Now, put it in a resealable bag like a Ziploc and remove as much air as possible. Personally, I like sealing the bag by submerging it in water. I watched this method from a professional at Toyosu Market, so I'm just following their method. This is an easy way to create a light vacuum at home. Finally, place the whole bag into ice water. The ice will melt in about a day, so I add it daily. You want the whole piece of salmon to stay fully submerged in the ice water. So place an ice pack on top to keep it from floating up. Now let's see what happens over time. It's now October 13th. I'll check again in about 5 days. Alright, see you in 5 days. Alright, it's been 5 days. Let's take a look. First, the surface of the skin. It seems like the salmon from the first method has slightly oxidized overall. It turned a bit yellowish, but honestly there's not a huge difference. Now looking at the meat color. Yeah, I don't really see much of a difference either. Next, let's check the smell. The first one has a bit of unpleasant odor. This one, on the other hand, doesn't smell bad at all. Maybe the bacteria just didn't grow that much. Alright, let's taste them. First, the one wrapped in paper towel. It has a bit of a fishy smell. Next, the one that was stored in ice water. Yeah, this one definitely tastes better. By the way, when I tried the same thing with a yellow tail, the difference was much easier to see. Of course, sashimi is always best eaten as soon as possible, but if you want to keep it a little longer, hope this video helps you out. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching until the end. ありがとう